DJ Styles here at Custom Corpses. All right, hang tight. I have to plug this thing, plug this in. I'm going live with you guys. Huh? Give me a sec, guys. Just need to put this in perspective here. I got the light on. All right. Got to get everything right. Since we're doing the Zoom, you know what? I am going to jack this up so you can see what I'm doing. You need to see the top of the head. Let's try and get a little closer. We're working on the top of the head first, and I'll readjust this. All right, so it's damp outside. It keeps threatening rain. It was drizzling just a little while ago, so my plan is definitely not to mold today. But I am going to put the step flash. I'm going to put the flashing in the dividing wall. All right. So first of all, let me share my channel. Let's go to my channel first. Channel. Live. Perfect. Copy. Now we need to go to Facebook. Post. All right. All right, let's go back to YouTube. I closed out my channel by accident. There we go. Okay, you're not seeing the whole face for a reason. All right, I'm going to sit down first and I'm going to explain what I've been doing. I need to go up. I need to go up and I got to pull this chair in. Anybody on with me yet? Okay, there's two watching and one of them is me because I had my computer on. Okay. So here it goes. This is what I've been doing. All right. I'm going to put the dividing wall. Just the flashing though. I'm not going to do the ears because I do that in clay around the ears to get a very tight so I picked up some 5x7 step flashing. All right, and they're thin. They're thin pieces. And I figured I needed to pick up a brake, a hand brake, and I did get this one here at Home Depot. It was only 19 bucks for this hand brake. All right. Now what I'm trying to do is, all right, you see this? This is what they call a register key. And what I'm going to do is I stick that in like this into the clay, all right, in 3 positions. One here, and one over here, and one down the bottom of the neck, and one on the other side of the neck. And then the rest gets filled in with little strips of step flashing of the same height. Now I make my step flashing real small in width because I want to make sure that my wall stays, you know, like that. I want it to be really tight as I go around this thing. So this was important to get to make my register keys instead of drilling holes into the concrete and all that stuff, because that created leaks. It's better to actually have register keys in your mold. And I've already used this, so I don't need it now. Let's get it out of the way temporarily. My room is absolutely atrocious. I have no working room outside of where I'm working right here. Actually, everything is covered. I can't wait till my deck is done, my porch, because it's really killing me. Getting I have all this stuff in here. I need my deck back out back. So another thing I figured out by ordering this, I ordered some camel hair. This is camel hair. This is adult camel hair. Very thick and coarse. Let me see if I can pull some out of the bag so you can see. This stuff is exactly what they used on the original Michael Myers. Let me see, I'm going to get up on the camera. Am I too far over? I'm too far over. I'm trying to line it up to the camera. That's camel hair. And I have a funny feeling that that's exactly what they use for crepe hair, is camel hair. That's exactly what it is. See the fibers? See how they're really nice and thick? So I ordered a pound of this camel hair, which is very expensive, but it will do the job. Got a pound of this. I think I picked it up on Etsy or something. I forget where I got it. It might have been Woolery. I can't remember. But I got a pound of it. And that'll do quite a few masks. And this is perfect for the Halloween 1. I think that's what I'll use for my Halloween 1 masks. I have the other stuff as well, but I think I really like the camel hair. I love the texture of it. It's got a really nice texture. It should do the job a lot better. Alright, so we are done with the sculpting. Let's go on to the project at hand. We're done with the sculpting part of this, and now I just have to put the flashing on. Now I already made the dividing line. There's a little thin line that goes around this whole thing on the neck as well. On the highest points. This way there's no locking. When I take the two-piece mold apart, I won't have anything locking other than the ears. And I'm no longer going to put the seam behind the ear because I think that was causing a lot of the problems. I'm actually going to put the seam right on the edge of the ear, right on the edge, all the way around the back side of it. And that's how I'm going to do this. But the first thing I have to do is put the center piece. Now I'm working with this flashing. I did buy some gloves, but I don't know if I'm going to use them because I'm not going to be pressing from up here. I'm not going to be pressing up here to put this in. I'm going to be pulling it down like that. So just want to make sure. All right. Now the other thing is when you're putting in your flashing, what you want to determine on how you're putting your flashing in is to make sure that this is not, see how this is higher than this side? So this side, it looks more even. So this is the side that I want to put into the clay. All right. Now, I'm going to get up top here. And I don't want to block your view at the same time. I can't do this with glasses, there's no way. Alright, right at the top here, you know what? I need to bring the camera over and put it right on top of the head so you can see what I'm doing. It might be a little difficult. Give me a sec here. Now you can see that thin line. See that real thin line? That's the peak. That's the highest point to the top of the head. And that's what we want. Now, what I need to do is I'm going to put this in here. These edges have to stay on that line. The register key falls back. All right, so we're going to go right on that line. Right at the center. There we go. That's one. That can be on the neck. I just want to make sure I have. So I'm just making sure that which side I want to do here. All right, so the other register key is going to go right here. Actually, maybe I'll bring it all the way down to the ear. Yeah, that's a good idea. In this situation, I have to. Sorry, I'm blocking the camera here. Just gotta watch. You know, when you're pushing, you gotta watch. You don't cut yourself. Now I put that right on the line. That's perfect. Now what happens is when I do the back side of the concrete first, this is going to create a little slot. This way, when I put the two halves together, these are right in place, right into the concrete, so I don't have to worry about it not lining up. I'm going to save those ones that aren't quite right for the neck area. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. All right, now I'm going to turn this to its side. You can kind of see that line. Now that's off just a slight little bit, but nothing to worry about. It's not going to make or break me. All right, so I'm going to put that right on top of that ear. Man, that's tough because it's a longer piece of flashing, so I have to go deeper to get that roundness out. Now, it doesn't matter if it leans forward or back that way. It's not going to matter as long as this right on the surface is square to your lines. Because if you don't have that lined up, you're going to have issues when you're, I should put gloves on. Famous last words. Just trying to push it in really tight. There we go. There we go.
Hello.
And we're on the line. Nobody's saying anything yet, so okay. So here, this is my register keys. Now that you can see, that's a register key. As you can see, the other register keys. I have to zoom out. Wait a minute. There we go. Sorry guys, bumping and banging around. All right, glasses back on. Anybody talking? Nobody's chatting yet with me. We have 3 watching, which means there's 2 of yous watching. All right, I need to back this out just a little bit. Actually. There we go. Now I'm going to go down so you can see the other process. There you go. Now they're register keys right here. Once the concrete is on the back side of this, this will allow me to put the 2 halves together, and it'll line up perfect. The head will, I'll never have to worry about the mold not lining up. All right, so I have to do the neck area now. I gotta get this chair up in the air. It's beautiful outside.
Oh, it is. You see the kids?
Yeah, that's Bobby's kids.
Oh, okay. I told him you were in here.
Yeah, he knows. Ah, Jesus, man, come on. Okay.
Is
So,
there right if I talk?
yeah, you can talk.
The next door, there's a beautiful truck like yours in the driveway there by the new garage.
Yeah, well, I know they're tearing out all the shrubbery that's alongside here.
Oh, okay.
So, which is good. I need that.
First I've seen anything, what they're doing.
All right, so now I'm going to go right underneath the ear here. What are you guys looking at compared to what I'm looking at? Okay. All right, so right now I'm going to go underneath this ear and follow this line. And what's cool is this is already here in the... It's already in the mask. I already put the... It's pretty deep as it is. I don't have to go too deep with it. That's nice. All right, I want to make sure I don't have it too bent. There we go. Now that's right on the seam. Now what I'll do is I have these little pieces. Now the rest of the flag, except for the other side of the neck, the rest of the flashing is cut into little pieces like this.
Yeah.
And then I can just stick them.
What is it for? What are you doing?
It's a dividing wall. I have to make a dividing wall for 2 halves of a mold. Does that make any sense to you? All right, what I have to do is I have to put concrete, or not concrete, but Ultra Cal 30, which is plaster. I plaster this side of the head first, then I take these flashing out, and then I plaster this side of the head. And that's what gives you your... Okay. Now I'm just, once I have everything in place, I just tape this with my packing tape. I'm going to stick with small pieces. Let me get that last piece in on this side, and then I'll start filling the gaps. Now I won't close in the ear area because I'm going to put clay in between the ears because I want a nice round perfect clay barrier for my ears. All right, so give me a second here. I got stuff squashed and moved. Too many things in my way here. Okay, so this is the next wall. Make sure that this is okay. That's a little bit more in line. Make sure it's this one. Yeah, that's the way. Now this side, I don't have a. Because of that register key, I can't wobble it back and forth or else I'll end up messing up the whole mask. So, now I got that embedded into the clay. Now I just got to keep following it. Now I put these on inside or outside depending on where the line is. And I want it to push against the flashing. What you doing? That's the problem, man.
Yeah, your pens.
Yeah, they dropped on me. I got my little grabber. I can fix that now.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. You got that.
You want to pick anything up? There it is. That's the magic tool.
I got a cheap plastic one from the Dollar Tree. It works
As
good.
long as it works. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter whether you spend a lot or a little.
Yeah, because I'm short. I can't reach up to the, upper levels and everything. I need one all the time.
I can't bend at all because of them fused bones in my vertebrae are fused, so I can't bend. No matter how I could be in the best shape in the world, I can lose all this weight, but I would never be able to bend my back again because the vertebrae are actually fused. So, okay. I only have to fill in these 2 areas. That's it. That's all that I have to do. I cut a lot of extra. You should see all the flashing I got cut. But you know what? That'll be for the next time.
Yeah. It's good the guy isn't real.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I don't think he'd like this. This would be a painful process if he was real. Okay. So I'm just staying on this, and I want to make sure that I kind of follow. I don't want any gaps at the end here. So you'll see in a second here. Shoot! It's so flimsy, this stuff. That's what I don't like about it.
Yeah, that one sold?
What one?
I said,
No, this isn't a mask yet. I gotta.
oh.
No, we're a ways off from selling anything.
Yeah, well, with Halloween coming, I'm sure you won't.
I'm not doing anything for Halloween this year. I don't have time.
No, I just meant to sell it or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not pushing to try and sell anything this year. Next year. Besides that, the new movie that came out that everybody was looking forward to, Halloween Ends, is getting really, really bad reviews. I have not seen it yet, guys. Me and my brother are going to go see it on Monday. That's our plan anyway. That's the plan going forward. But who knows? Get enough bad reviews. I don't think I want to go see it, to tell you the truth. Just making sure one side of the line is actually covered. Yeah, that's good.
Does Sandy still keep in touch with you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I hadn't seen it since your mother's funeral. She's still involved?
Mm-hmm. Yep. See how that's almost nice and round now. All I have to do is tape this. I just put some masking tape on that, and we'll be good here. Now, once I pull all these out, I'll just fill in that clay, that spot where it's. Nice. Yeah, I'm glad I did cut quite a bit of these out because I need them, obviously.
What color hair are you going to give him? I see it. There you have a. Okay.
This is this hair is camel hair.
Oh.
Yeah, don't tangle it up though. You can look into it, but
okay.
it's actual adult camel hair.
Yeah.
It's a really expensive good.
Oh, that's different.
Yep, that's what they use for these masks.
It looks real. I mean, like real hair.
Yeah, it's got the right fiber thickness and everything to it.
Oh. Oh, you got this from Etsy.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it's on the bag.
Yeah, that's a neat place.
Yes, it is. I like it. So, guys, I'm getting there. Now, this is going to give me my barrier wall. So make sure that was up against that real good. So I got one more piece to put right there. I have a wider piece.
I haven't been on Etsy for a while. I'll have to look at it again.
A little wider, just a little bit. There we go. That's what I'm after. Perfect. Now, because I'm going to be putting the stone against this side of the wall first, I need to tape the back side, not the front side. So we can move this flashing. I used quite a bit of flashing. I thought I was going to use less, but I used more than I thought. So I'm glad. I'm glad I cut the extra. Let me just get this out of the way.
Where do you buy things like that?
Home Depot.
Oh, okay. Not Etsy, huh?
Not for everything. No, I just get the hard to get stuff. Okay, you get the. Okay, so now if you take a look, you see the flashing.
Yeah.
And now we're going to tape up the back side. I don't like the way this looks right here. Okay, that's a little better. That's a little better. This flashing right here was sticking out too far this way.
Yeah.
And we don't want that, so.
Yeah, well, it's a little hard.
You don't need to go crazy with your tape. You want to bring it in as close to the head as possible. But you don't need to go over top. I don't like going over top of it because it causes other issues down the road. Alright, so we're going to keep right working this tape. Just hoping that it isn't going to stick to itself again. Okay, so I lied. I got one piece folded over. As long as it's not way over. This stuff is sharp. So do yourself a favor and make sure. Don't do as I do as I say. How's that? You want to make sure that you wear gloves. Because this stuff is literally sharp as a razor. The flashing. That's pretty cool. Don't have to be perfect. These little ridge lines here, that'll just act as an extra key, register key by having that on there. I'm going to sit down a second. I like using flashing more than doing clay walls. The only place I use clay is on my ears. I'll bring out the clay about that far because I don't plan on going all the way out with the stone. The stone's going to be about that far up is all, about that high on the sculpture. But I use the clay for the ears to make this nice and round. So I can't really do that with the flashing. It bends too, gets too wacky. I mean, I don't have the kind of tools I need to actually bend metal around those ears and get it really nice. So instead, I use clay for the ears. Why I like to do it this way is because you'll waste a lot of clay doing a barrier wall. Flashing's cheap. It's more effective. Gives you a better. I think a better. It gives you a better lock. It gives you a better. Just a better dividing wall. Let's do the bottom here. There we go, we're doing that side. Now we got to work our way down this side. I was going to do the back half of the mold today, but I don't know. The sun's trying to come out. It's going in and out. I don't know. I heard some bad weather's coming. Plus, I want to watch some football today. I'm really tired out from working over this weekend. I did a lot of. I worked this weekend, and it was a tiring couple of days. The Philadelphia Phillies won. You're not a baseball fan. I'm not really a big baseball fan either, so let me just make that clear. I don't really care. They could have won or lost. I'm rooting for them because I have a lot of friends that love them, and I'm a Philly fan. So anything that they do good, that's a good thing. What's going on in that city, that's a whole nother issue, and I don't want to talk about, but yeah, I prefer to just stay out of that. Far enough over. That's far enough over. Now I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm definitely going to start molding this tomorrow. I think the weather's supposed to be nice tomorrow and a little warmer. It's pretty chilly out there today. It's nice, but I don't think it's a good day to mold. It still feels very damp out there. I really could do the mold today, but I don't have the energy. And at least I got this dividing wall in, and I bent these. I made them. I did everything I needed to do to get it ready for the mold. This way, all I have to do is start doing the actual work. That little ripple there, that's only going to help us in the end. It's just going to create another little ripple in the clay. Remember, when the clay goes up against this on the back side, it clay. I keep saying, man, I'm tired. I'm really tired, guys. So forgive me. I'm talking, and I don't even know what the hell I'm saying. I'm just tired, and I'm in a lot of pain today. High pain today, a lot of pain. That's because of the weekend that I had. What are you going to do? I could be a grouchy old fart while I'm in pain, but I'm not. That's not my personality. I keep myself at an even keel. Oh, I can blow up just like the next guy, but I keep myself in an even keel. I don't try to get myself too upset on anything, to tell you the truth. I really don't. I work my way through things. I've always learned that from a long time ago. You always got to work the problem. Whatever the problem is, you work the problem. Don't. I mean, some things we can fix, some things we can't. But that's how I approach things. I don't believe in getting all worked up and bent out of shape and worrying about every little thing. You can't. Now, some would say this dividing wall is extremely high, and I would agree. But I didn't want to have to keep cutting up all this flashing. This flashing comes 5x7. So what I did was I took the 5-inch length, that's what this is, and I just cut my strips. That's how I cut my strips. I didn't. Why do the extra cutting, shortening it, and all that stuff? Nah, I'm just going to take whatever they give me, use the length that's there. I don't have to put the concrete all the way up to the top. Actually, if I don't put the concrete all the way up, I said call it concrete. Ultra Cal 30. If I don't put the Ultra Cal 30 all the way up the top, it actually helps me. So, just so you know. So, it makes it easier when I go to take the flashing off. Once the stone hardens, you just take all the flashing out, and then your concrete, your Ultra Cal 30 wall is there, and all the shape is there. And then what you do is you put Vaseline on the back side of your wall, and you Vaseline the stone real good on the other side of when the flashing's going. Then it's all stone. This will be just a stone wall here. Then you just put Vaseline all over that so it doesn't grab. So when you put your stone to the face and it goes up against that wall that's here, you don't have to worry about it sticking. So that's why I always use Vaseline when it comes to doing when I do that wall. Perfect. There we go. And that's basically a dividing wall. Now what you do I'm not doing this today because the clay will get hard on me. I'm going to fold this tape over so it doesn't stick to itself. There we go. Don't have to worry about that no more. Now what you do is you take your clay and you pack in the ears. You want to pack it all the way up to the back side of this ear, right on the edge, right? I was pulling it all, I was trying to put the seam way behind the ear. Not a good idea because it was really causing too much of a locking situation, and it makes you hammer a lot harder on your wall when you're trying to separate your mold. So what I do is I'm going to put my clay, I'm going to fill in here, and I'm going to make sure it comes all the way out and it's buried inside this register key, top and bottom. But my clay will follow just to the edge of the outer ear right here, and this will all be clay right here. In other words, this area here will be clay all the way out, all right, and then the stone goes up against the back side of that ear. That's how that works. And did I bend the hell out of that? I think I did. All right, now let me read your comments there because I can't see while I was doing this. And I had to keep my eyes on what I was doing because this will cut you really bad. Yeah, Bo, I'm not looking forward to seeing it now because of the fact that everybody, it's got a lot of bad reviews. I definitely don't want to watch that garbage. Yeah, so that goes without saying. I'm not a fan of franchises being destroyed due to I don't know. Whenever they start paying homage to everything, I think this is the problem. When they start paying homage to all these other movies or part of you just can't do that. You can't do that. Now, Michael Myers, yes, I agree. The mask was very important. If you don't have the mask right, it just doesn't sell as Michael Myers. And they hit a home run with the mask. I think, the artwork with that mask is phenomenal. The problem I have was bad script writing. The dialogue was terrible in the movie. I think Kills was the best of all of them. 18 was like second to me. The H40 was second place. First place was Kills. Although the writing was better, the script writing was better in the H40. The dialogue and the script writing in Kills was stupid. I did like the two gay guys, which I wouldn't have liked normally, but I actually liked those guys because they were pretty cool characters. They were funny. It's a shame they got killed off, but but it's ironic, Everything else about that, the mob scene and everything, that was just stupid. And the slogan saying that they came up with, I can't remember off the top of my head. They were talking about that, and I thought that was horrible. I mean, it was really bad writing. It was bad script writing. And I'm not talking about writing as far as the movie storyline. I'm talking about the actual dialogue that they used in the movie. I thought, Jesus, a 10-year-old could write better than that. Anyway, this is the finished dividing wall. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to start putting the stone on the back side of the head. I have everything in place for it. Yeah, I heard that too. I've seen all. I know how it ends. I mean, if you've seen it, did you see the movie? You didn't see it. I already know how the end. I know the ending. And regardless of how cool the fight is, who dies and who lives, I disagree with. Totally. So I don't want to give that away if you haven't seen that comment yet. If you haven't seen who actually lives and dies, I know who lives and dies, and at the very end in that fight, so to speak. And I ain't happy with it. So no matter how cool the fight is, I've heard some things that that it's going to suck. Myers is weak. Apparently, he's not even that strong. There's just all these things that are just really stupid. I don't even know what the hell they were thinking. I'd rather just make him supernatural. At this point, you make the guy supernatural. Hell, he's been shot 50 times. I don't even know how many times. Anybody take count on how many times in this? Let's say in this time universe, this universe that they did this movie in. Somebody give me a full count on how many times he got shot. And he's still walking? I'm sorry, I ain't buying it. I think in the first movie he was shot 6 times. Uh, you know, the 2018, I'm not sure how many times he was shot. I know he's got his fingers blown off. I think he was shot twice or once in 18. And then this time, man, holy God, in Kills, he got shot like crazy. I don't even know how many times. And then he got pitchforked. I'm sorry. Nobody's living through that. Nobody. So he has to be supernatural. And if that's the case, you can't kill him. Why not just make him like Jason? You can't kill him. Whatever happened to, well, evil dies tonight, blah, 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 blah. Well, John Carpenter has written it, you can't kill evil. So what happened? I don't know. Maybe if they get enough complaints about this movie, they'll do something about it. They'll come out with another one. I don't know if they were aiming to just kill the franchise altogether. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't know. It's stupid. I know that having a bad movie like this is just going to enthuse somebody to make another one. Somebody else to do it. And just bring in the same guy that did The Mask for this one. Or the last three movies. Let him do let it pick up from there. I don't know. I don't know what to do at this point. Maybe you hire me and you get my mask. And you use that and you take it off from H1, right? I don't know. Just being funny. Anyway, all right, so this is finished, guys, and tomorrow is another day. I'm going to jump off here. I got things I got to do. The Eagles game is on tonight. Going to be watching that. That comes on at 8 o'clock. We're getting pizza, and we're getting wings. And we're going to enjoy the Eagles beating Dallas Cowboys tonight. Yes, we are. We're going to watch that game tonight. The Eagles are going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. I got my toes crossed. I got my fingers crossed. I really don't know. I'd like to say that I'm confident that that'll happen. Well, you might be right, though. I honestly, I'm a huge Eagles fan, and yes, I do not like Dallas at all. But I'm an honest guy, and I'm not nervous. But one team's going to win, and one team's going to lose, and I look at things a little more even keeled with that stuff. Sports isn't the most important thing in life. But what I'm saying is, I think the number one defense is going against the number one offensive line. A number one defensive line is going against the number one offensive line. Who wins that battle is who wins the game. It's a game of matchups. You just don't know. There's no way I know. I'm not the guy out on that field. That's all I do know. I can tell you one thing about the Eagles I do not like, and I've not hidden that at all from anybody. I do not like a passive defense like we have. I do not like when they go into, they get 14, 21 points up on the board, and then they go into prevent on the defensive side of the ball. And prevent, all that does is prevent you from winning. I'm not a fan of it. I do get the reasons why they're doing it. That type of defense, and that type of defense is to run out the clock if you have a big lead. You go to running the ball, and on defense, you let them take little chunks of the field. But you got to take little chunks, and then you got to make sure that you're holding at some point. You can't let them go down and score. Oh yeah, let me have that. No. You can't go down and score. That's the whole thing. So, yes, that's what I don't like about our defense. Your defense is definitely, I feel, better than ours. I just don't know. I don't know who's going to win. I really don't. I mean, being a fan, yeah, you want your team to win, but somebody asked me, would I bet on this game? Hell no. Not a chance. I wouldn't bet a wooden nickel on this game. Because you just don't know what's going to happen. And once again, and I hate this about this league now, and I'm finding out some things that I didn't realize. The refereeing, the reason why it's so bad is because they don't have refs that are literally, that's all they do is referee in professional football. That's like a side job to them. All right, so they have regular jobs. So to me, I don't think the reffing is as consistent. And I hate referee. I do. I just hate the way the refs can call or destroy a game. And every time somebody gets massively hurt real bad in the game, all of a sudden they're tightening up on, you can't touch the quarterback. Now you can't touch the quarterback. The guy from Miami, pretty much breaks his neck. Severe concussion. They've known this has been going on for years, these concussion problems. And they're never going to go away. It's football. You know that when you're signing your name on the contract, that you're taking a high chance of getting, you can be killed in this game. So anybody that oh, you got to protect. Bullshit. I'm going to call straight out. There is no such thing as protection. And you know what? I wish it would go back to the way it used to be played. I can't stand the way it's played today. You had to be a tough son of a gun to play football back in those 70s. You may not have had the speed and the size and all the things that they have today because of the technology that has changed and the way where they breed people now. It's almost like you're bred to be a football player. You didn't have guys that were 400-pound linemen, 300-pound linemen running a 4.4, 4.5 speed. That's crazy. Those guys are fast too, and it's just, you never had that kind of stuff. So yes, I think that also amplifies the injuries. But I'm a big football. I played semi-pro football, so I do know the game a lot better than the average person. It's just that I don't know. It's pansy ball to me at this point. I've got 9 vertebrae in my back fused. I've got all kinds of old injuries. Hips are all messed up. I played football. That's what happens. And, a lot of people, I'll guarantee you, every one of these guys that you see that are older, that played back in the day, they're all crippled up. I'm one of them. I know. They're barely walking. They're getting their numbing aids. They're getting numbed up before they do these shows and everything. Trust me. They got severe damage to their bodies. And do I want that to continue? I don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't care if it's even Dallas Cowboys. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But it is part of the game. And that's how I'll leave it. I'll leave it at that. That's part of the game. And when referees dictate the outcome of a game because of a bad call or a missed call or any of that, man, it's horrible. That's horrible. And no matter what side of the ball you're on, whether it's the Dallas Cowboys or the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't want to win a game or lose a game on a bad call. You know, and if you could see it on the TV on the instant replay, or we see it from a different angle, you know, and you know you've been robbed. No matter whether you got it for you or against you, even if the call went for you, you know, at some point it goes against you. So bad refereeing is part of this game now because they don't bring in real refs. They're fly-by-nighters. I mean, they're trained somewhat, but they're not great. They're not there. They have regular jobs along with that extra money that they're making from the NFL. You know, they're going to have to really get better refs. Baseball, man, I'll tell you. I was watching, like, the Phillies game. When I watched the Phillies game, some of the really close plays. Now, the one play I did disagree with, I don't remember who made the hit or whatever, because I'm not a really big baseball fan, but it looked like the guy was safe on first base. And if you watch the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. It looked like he was safe because it looked like a tie. The ball took a hop into the first baseman's glove, and the ball hit the glove at the same time. The heel of that guy's foot hit that bag. And tie always goes to the runner. But, you know, like football, if there isn't enough evidence to flip it over, you know, I guess that's it. I don't know. I would have made the opposite call. If I was a ref, he would have been safe. He wouldn't have been out. So, but like I said, I'm an honest guy. I look at things straight up. You know, I'd rather win, really win, and not have somebody win it for me. So, it is what it is. I mean, playing the game, you put your heart and soul and your body out on the line all the time, and then all of a sudden some referee just takes it out from, you know, pulls the rug out from under you because of a bad call. Yeah, no. No, believe me, players get a lot more pissed off than you realize because they're out there sacrificing their bodies for these games. And a bad call really pisses them off. I mean, really pisses them off. They're not allowed to say anything. They're not allowed to criticize. They're not allowed to do anything with these referees. I mean, it's ridiculous. But it is what it is. It's football. It's sports. It's games. It's not real life. You know, enjoy the game. It'll be fun tonight, regardless of who you're rooting against or rooting for. It's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be a tough game. It's either going to be an extremely tough game or it's going to be a lopsided, stupid, like somebody doesn't show up. You know, the Eagles beat themselves or Dallas beats themselves. You know, you just don't know. You don't know until the game starts, until the whistle blows. Quarterback's off. You could have a bad game. It doesn't matter. You know, you could have one bad game and just, you know, oh well, you've lost the game because of it. I do like football a lot more because of one reason. Every game counts. Every game is so important to win. So the sport is a lot more intense. You know, every loss, every win. Now the Eagles can afford to lose. Yes, they can afford to lose. I don't think Dallas can afford to lose, and I'll tell you why. All right, you guys are about to have a controversial situation with your quarterback situation. Now here's my prediction. All right. It's not going to be a controversy bringing Dak back into the lineup. What's going to happen is if he doesn't play well, that's when you're going to have a controversy. If he loses 2 games straight, or maybe, you know, just doesn't really perform as well, doesn't look good, and he's not going to look good. He hasn't played in 5 weeks. His first game back's not going to be a pretty game unless it's against a real weak team. Maybe then, hopefully that's what they do. If they're smart enough as a coach, and believe me, I could have gone into coaching. My thing would be, don't bring back Dak against a really good team. You bring him back against a really bad team. All right, just so he gets his feet wet and he can get implemented back to the speed of the game. That would be the smart thing to do. But what do I know? I only played the ball. I've only played football for quite a few years. Enough to destroy my body. But yeah, here I am talking all about football. All right, so some people are not going to like this video. Anyway, I got the flashing up. The dividing wall is up. It looks good. We're in good shape there. Now I got to do the clay tomorrow when I do the mold. I do the clay ears first. I have to do the underneath the neck. I have to do the backside first. I put clay up into that all the way around. I thought about doing flashing up underneath it here too, but there's no way to really stick it in there. Maybe I can. No, I'm not doing that because it's got to hold weight. That stone is heavy. It'll just bend the flashing. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick to the clay on the ears and clay underneath the neck. And it's got to be. It's what you're trying to do is create a something that catches the plaster coming down, goes all the way around like that. There you go. This is how it goes. That's how see how it comes up underneath there, and it just gives you that nice neckline. Well, that's what I have to do with a clay wall, all the way around underneath the neck. And that, anyway, anything the plaster that runs down. Now, I do the back half of the plaster, and I'm going to explain all that tomorrow. That's just better. I'll leave it at that. I'll explain everything tomorrow as I'm doing it. People keep asking how to. I have 2 or 3 videos of me doing the same process. Crazy. So, yeah, anyway, I'm tired, guys. And he should be, Bo. Where are you from, Bo? I mean, you're from Texas or Dallas or anywhere close, And you don't even have to be close. Who the hell cares? If it's your team, it's your team. I was born and raised in South Jersey and North Carolina. Everybody says they're America's team, and if you like them, you like them. That's just the way it is. There is no. I just think they get a little too much hype. And your biggest problem with the Dallas Cowboys is not the coaching. It's not, and it's. I'll tell you what it is. It's the owner. The owner just meddles with too much football. You've got to really know football inside and out to be. I have to say, now, originally with Howie Roseman, the guy that he just really hits home runs. Our guy with getting the right people, right staff in place to really, in 1 year we went from we made the playoffs, but it was due to the scheduling, I think, more, I don't know. We started out getting a really good running game, and it took everybody by surprise because everybody's set up to defend the pass more than they are the run today. And I think it really took the Eagles. I do like our coaching for that reason because they really do adjust well. They adjust to what other teams are giving them, and our head coach. I can't think of the guy's name. Jeez, I'm that tired. But yeah, I'm a fan of our coach. I'm not a fan of our defensive coordinator. I just don't like that style of. I'm not a. It's not personal. It's not that I dislike the guy. I don't even know the guy. I'm just saying I just don't like that style of defense. I like in a very aggressive. I love Dallas's defense. Hate to say it, but I love that aggressiveness. I love it. You can get burnt pretty bad with it in some games. All you got to do is have a half off game and an offense that's real hot. A quarterback that's throwing perfect spots, throwing to a perfect spot, and you're not going to beat it. You can't beat a quarterback that's on fire when they're hitting perfect. Even with blanket coverage, it's really tough to do. But it's just any of those one things can happen. I want the game tonight to be like everybody's playing great, both sides of the ball. This way, when somebody wins tonight, you're not going to say, "Oh, it was because of this" or "It was because of that." No, it's because you got beat. I'd rather have a game that you get beat, and it's evident, that you just couldn't, withstand the rush. You couldn't withstand you just got to, I don't want to see either quarterback have a bad game. I want to see them, hitting everybody when they're open. I want to see what each team really has to offer going forward. Because, all right, here's a perfect example. All right, say you guys win, and we just have a horrible game. All right? We have a horrible game and we win. You win. I'm sorry. All right? We face each other again, late in the season. I think it's the last game of the season. All right, so you didn't get the Eagles at their best. They played horrible. All right? So what if they're on fire when they face you again and kick the crap out of you? And the reason why they kick the crap out of you, and this is because I know a little bit about football, is because you were unprepared for them to have a good game. You based that next game off of what took place the last game. And you prepared in that way. Now, all of a sudden, he's hitting on time. You don't even know, maybe the offensive line wasn't playing well, one or two injuries. One guy was out. You just don't know. Anything can alter a game. Also breaking the rhythm of a team. I'm a big fan of a team getting into a rhythm, and the Eagles are in that rhythm right now. Although I think they had a tough game last week, and the hardest thing to defend is a running quarterback. Unless that running quarterback doesn't throw well. If he doesn't throw the ball well and he's a scrambler, that's one other guy that you got to worry about running. And that's why the Eagles defense had such a hard time with the Cardinals last week. Was the same reason everybody has a hard time facing us, is because of that scrambling ability. Now, the guy that you have in your backup QB right now, he's a statue back there. He does not really move. I mean, he moves, don't get me wrong, but under duress, how well will he do? That's the question I have, is if our defensive line is it's ranked pretty high, and I think they're playing well, and they really do put a lot of pressure. And they put a lot of pressure on. That's why we won last week, because they really pressured him a lot, and he was a scrambler. Somebody that sits back in the pocket, that can't move, that can't scramble, I think he's in trouble. I do think that's going to be your weakest link this weekend, or tonight, is going to be the quarterback. And I'm not downing the guy. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying your quarterback's good as long as he's not under complete, you know, pressure. But then again, the Eagles actually bring the pressure. That's why I don't like our passiveness in our defense. You know, you don't go after a guy hard for 2 quarters. And then, well, even last week, they only went after the guy 1 quarter because they got up so fast and they were, well, wait a minute. No, we came from behind. That's right. I'm trying to remember the game. Anyway, we came from behind. But once we got a pretty good lead on them, our defense went into pass prevent. And I hate that. I just hate prevent defense. Hate it, hate it, hate it. It can cost you at some point down the line. You know, you got to be more aggressive, a little more. Just don't have to be total aggressiveness, but you gotta throw them blitzes every once in a while. And last week I don't even think he blitzed a few times. That was it. I don't even think he did. To tell you the truth, I think back on it. But Dallas, I haven't really been watching enough of your games. I did watch one game, and it happened to be the game. It was the very first game where he got hurt. So, and everybody even me. But I did state on Facebook, or it was a private message to a friend, I forget. I said, you don't know, man. The backup could be pretty good. You never know. You know, it's like what happened with Nick Foles. Nick Foles in the Super Bowl. Holy God, man. He was lights out. He was lights out all through the playoffs. Well, and it's, you know what the problem is? I really do feel bad for the fans because they keep being sold a bunch of bullshit. If you really know football and you really understand football, you can tell they're not that great, but you got the hype. You got everybody, oh, you know, you got a lot of Dallas fans. And when you have a guy that's on TV, anybody that's a homie that, you know, that roots for the home team. I'll tell you who I really love as an analyst. Troy Aikman. He calls it because he knows what he's talking about. And he sees it and he says, you know what? No, they're not that good. He'll say things like that and it pisses off Dallas fans. I get it. But he's being truthful. And every year they keep showing you the same, they keep giving you the same result. Now, here's what I think about Dak Prescott. He's a mature quarterback now. He is not going to get any better than what he is right now. He's not going to get any better. All right. He's got, I don't know that he has the great protection that the Eagles have for our quarterback. I don't think he does. But here's the problem. He doesn't play well. Aikman's great. He was great. I hated him when he played. But learning and listening to him, he knows his shit. He knows his shit. And if you're going to listen to anybody, that's the guy you want to listen to for truth. You know, and I even take his criticism against the Eagles because he's right. He was right about a lot of things. Look, I understand the game a little bit better than the average cookie, but my thing is, it's all right. When we watch a game on TV, you're not seeing the entire field. You don't see the breakdowns. They show them to you in, they go back to the play and they show you what happened. But you don't actually see it in live time. When you're at a game, and that's why I go to the Eagles games. I used to have seasons tickets, and I went to all the games, as a young man. I don't go anymore. My brother has the tickets now, and he goes, and he's had season tickets too, since 1980. That's when he bought his season tickets. No, actually, it was before that. Because he went to that, when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl for the first time in the 1980, was it 1980? 1980. I think it was 1980. My brother went to that. My brother didn't go to the Super Bowl, but he was at that championship game against Dallas in that freezing ass temperature. And the Eagles won that game and went on to the Super Bowl. But that's when he got his season tickets. That year, during that year, that was his first year, and he was just a kid. And that was when you can afford the tickets. Now, man, Jesus, they're expensive. They're way up there, and you got to wait for somebody to die to even get a seat. So anyway, get back to what I was saying. Yeah, I just think that Dallas is they get way too much hype because you do have a lot of analysts that are Dallas fans. All right, I listen to analysts that are even keeled about it. Yeah, I like my Cowboys, but they're not doing so hot. They're not going to be that good. I'll tell you another guy that's pretty fair too. What the heck's his name? Jesus. He gets really pissed off when Dallas doesn't do well. Oh my God, what's his name? Anyway, I feel bad for him. I've seen him throw away several jerseys over the course of a couple of years. Come on. I can't think of his name now. He's on with Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp, yeah, that's who he's on with. You know who I'm talking about. But I like him too. I mean, he hates the Eagles. Oh my God, does he hate the Eagles? But he's truthful. You know, there's things that he'll say that are truthful, and sometimes he gets behind that. Like everybody's sold now because of last week's game against the defending world champions. Come on, Rams. But don't buy in too far into that because every team can have a bad day. Every team can be unprepared. I think what I'm getting at with that is simply this. First of all, they're not. If you look at their record, they're not doing well. Most teams do not do back-to-back Super Bowls. It happens so rare, and I think Dallas was actually the last team to actually do it in the 90s. Go back-to-back. And it's not easy to do, especially this day and age. It's a little different back then even because the reason why you had dynasties is because you didn't have as much pieces being moved around throughout the league. You know, like every year you're losing guys. You get guys, you lose guys. And it's hard to keep that unity in a team. I truly believe that no matter how great the players are, it's all about chemistry. It's not. Everybody thinks it's, I got this player, I got that player. I didn't care who the Eagles picked up. They got all these great players. But if there's no chemistry between them, they're not going to be good, no matter how many superstars you put on that team. It's all about chemistry. And whether the team as a whole pulls together, you know, and I think that's coaching. Coaching has to really pull that together. You know, so it's a combination. You got to have great players, you got to have great chemistry, and you got to have great coaches on all levels, not just the head coach. So, and one goal. And never look at a game way ahead of time. You take each week as it comes. And you never let a game beat you up too bad. Okay, you lose, so what? Move on. Next. That's how you have to approach football. That's how you approach all sports, professionally. You can't I made such a bad play and it cost us the game and all that. No. You know what? I just lost it. I didn't do well. Okay, boom, I'm done. I got to go on to the next game. Next game, I'm going to be thinking about that bad play, and I won't make that again. I won't make that mistake again. And I'm going to go the extra. I'm going to go extra hard to try and have a great game. That's what you do. That's football. That goes for any sport. You got to be prepared. Is the biggest thing, I think. It's what you do in the film room that really counts. And each player, the smarter the player is, in other words, I want a team that understands everybody's position. I want a team that absolutely every guy knows everybody's job. Every guy. That means you got a very smart team. All right. If they see a weak breakdown or something happen where it's breaking down, they can do something about it. The next guy next to you can help you because he picked it up, because he saw it before it happened. That's smart football. And I'll tell you, the teams that aren't smart, the ones that are penalized a lot. The more a team is penalized, the more it exposes that you have pretty stupid players. Not very smart, not very football smart anyway. So I've been playing and watching this game for years. I'm 60 years old, man. I'm not a young man. So I've seen the old games. And there's a lot more speed, a lot more size, and there's a lot more injury because of it. But you can't play this game, can't pussify the game. I'm going to say it that way. How's that? And you have to play the game hard. There can't be guys pulling up because they can't tackle somebody because he's hurt, he's halfway into his slide or whatever. You just can't do it that way. Who dat?
Yeah. Can I pick up my medicine?
Yeah, let me jump off of here, guys. I want to thank you for watching. And I need to go to the store for somebody. And I'm sorry for all this football talk, but I'm kind of psyched up for the game tonight, just like you are, Bo. I love football. I'm looking forward to the game. Give you guys a quick flashing look. You see how it's into the head? It's all on the line, baby. Yes, sir. Okay, so this is ready for molding tomorrow. All right, guys, so hit the like. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And thanks for tuning in. Have a good one, man. Good luck tonight, too. All right, because no matter who wins, we're all winners. How's that? I don't think it matters really too much with the Eagles if they lose. I'm hoping for them to stay undefeated still, but you know what? If they lose, oh well. Tomorrow's still going to come, rather than whether they win or lose. But, yeah. And I don't make enemies with my friends. I think it's fun. I like teasing everybody. But it's all in fun. The football is not a life or death situation. Politics, a little different. But football, that's fun. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Peace. Bye.